the big move we're seeing higher in Tesla right now, warranted?
To some extent, look, they really surprised us on profitability. I've never seen a company with flat revenue come up with that kind of upside on profitability. So to some extent, it's merited. I will say that the reason we downgraded the stock, which is that the top line is decelerating, still is the reason we're not buying it today. So a legitimate surprise, but there are still some concerns out there about the rate at which they can grow this business.
Joe, is that bottom line improvement sustainable, or is it sort of a one-time leap?
Well, part of what's interesting about covering this company is the extraordinary margin volatility quarter to quarter. So you look at it and say, hey, that's great. But, look, they're going to be bringing this China fab online. They've got to absorb that cost base. So I don't have a whole lot of conviction that this is the new normal. And honestly, when I was debating last night whether to upgrade the stock, that's one of the reasons I didn't. I'm not sure that this is sustainable.
Jed, do you agree with that? Do you see this as a shift in the narrative for Tesla? Is profitability something that is going to now potentially be more sustainable and here to stay?
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, maybe you don't see the same level of profitability, but the improvement is definitely here to stay. We tend to focus on the less sexy part of the business, which is how they're able to deliver a car that gets, 40, 50% greater range than other EV companies. And that is resulting in a fundamentally lower cost structure, which I think is what we are seeing bear some fruit today.
Joe, self-driving, the automation piece of all of this and all the software that Tesla is pushing out to its vehicles on the road, is that a real threat to the other players in self-driving cars right now?
Honestly, it's such early days. If you were to ask me how I value the stock, there's not a lot that I'm assigning to, the self-driving or vehicle autonomy features. I think we're a long way away from that. I will say, I agree with Jed, right? They are still building the best electric vehicles out there. They're way ahead of everybody, and that should stand in their favor. But don't be buying this stock because of the vehicle autonomy.
Jed, does the competition ever catch up with them, or you think that they're always able to innovate and stay ahead? Or is there a definitive time period where they have to seize their advantage and grab market share?
I mean, to be seen, but that being said, having been an operator at a large Fortune 500, I think it's going to be challenging for 100-year-old business models to catch up an innovator like this. So I think they do have an advantage. They do have a technology advantage. It's going to be seen whether or not they are able to capitalize on that to the fullest extent. That being said, they continue to de-risk this stock, and that is why the stock continues to move higher.